we're going to go straight to the heart of the matter, and that would be London in the UK, where I-24 News European correspondent Jonathan Sacerdoti standing by. Jonathan, this is it, the morning to be. Latest polls coming in showing actually the Remain campaign looking good. Is that correct?
Good morning. Yes, that's the case. But as with right the way through this campaign, nobody quite knows how much faith to put in those polls, not only because polling has proven itself to be somewhat of an inaccurate science in recent months and years, but also because things have been just so close that the smallest of things could swing this either way, not least the fact that it's pouring with rain already in London here, and that might spread across the country and encourage a lower turnout. Why would that be important?
I'm going to stop you because my next question to you was the turnout. Do we expect a lot of people to come out this way, but are you telling me that rain is actually going to make it, I mean, that's something to factor in at this point?
Well, the rain could play a part, but this is a debate that most of the country has taken on board very passionately. So a very high turnout is expected. And unlike most elections that take place in the United Kingdom, this is a simple two-horse race. One side has to win by the smallest of margins, and that is considered a win, unlike in general elections where things are far more complicated. So this is also an opportunity for the country to have its opinion heard on one specific issue. It's not often that Britain gets a referendum like this. And just to remind ourselves, the question that British people will be answering in their polling booths today is, should the United Kingdom remain a member of the European Union or leave the European Union? Sounds very simple, but acres of press and hours of debate, whether on screen or off, has been taking place across the country for some time now, and today is the day that people will stop hearing the arguments from those involved in the campaigning and have to make their final decision.
And have to make their final decision and really going into this as they go out and vote. When it comes to, just a quick question to you, when it comes to contingency plans, let's say the vote is Brexit, let's say the vote is out. The one thing I've failed to hear throughout this is, what are the plans if Britain is about to leave the EU?
Well, the government's been very quiet about those plans, mostly because David Cameron, the Prime Minister, has been leading the campaign to remain. So, of course, talking about that too much would perhaps have been seen as a shooting himself in the foot somewhat. If people heard the plans and realised that they were quite happy with the alternative, then it would have gone against his campaigning. Some have criticised him for that, especially on the Leave side, saying that in order to make the decision, people did need to hear what the government, who essentially will have to carry out their wishes if they choose to leave, is planning to actually do and how they will undertake that. But there will be plans in place. You can be sure that civil servants will have been drawing up plans for both eventualities. And when it happens, if it happens, then they will fall into action and start to move. And it's unlikely to be a fast thing. There won't be a divorce the next day between Great Britain and the EU. This is something that could take 2 years or even more. There is a process that is laid out for leaving the EU in the constitution of the EU and in all the relevant guidelines there, but that will have to take place, including a negotiation, and things are relatively uncertain about how that will go.
Right. Jonathan Sacerdoti, because you have a rough day ahead of you, of course, you will be covering the EU referendum in Britain, in the UK, for I-24 News throughout the day. So run out there, see the people, and we will talk to you tomorrow morning.